In this video, I'll be doing one of the best games in history between Garry Kasparov and Black. In this video, White won, and I'll show you how. So the game starts with the pure defense. And after a series of moves, they are quite developmental, but I feel like White is better because of threatening bishop to h6. Some good moves would be knight to g4, but that doesn't happen yet. f3 is a good move, blocking this move. Now this is not an option to stop here. Now b5, and development occurs because you can't attack without development. So after a trade, White cannot castle at the moment because the queen is covering the square. So after a series of moves, White is theoretically slightly better. They're almost done their development, just a bit more moves. They're castled, their king is safe, the knights can go into c1 and quite there, and the rooks can move. The queen is well coordinated. So the knight moves to c1, and Black castles queenside. Now Black is quite done the development, but these black squares will pose a question to him in the future. After capture, you can see that both of them are finished their development. But let's talk about positions after. Because the bishop is not that great. It's blocked. But this bishop on h3 is completely unmarked and unguarded. So is the queen. It has lots of areas to go. The queen does not have much freedom to go anywhere. The queen moves back for a check, and now the king is forced to hide. Rook to e1 and pawn to d4, trying to attack the knight. The knight can go here to threaten the queen. And after a capture, the queen is underset and has to leave. And here comes the first brilliant move. The reason why this is brilliant is it destroys the d-pawn and now allows more positions to happen. I'll show you later why this is very important. And after rook check, you can't necessarily take because this would eventually break the position and force quick mate soon. Because remember, the bishop is taking up the square. So the king is forced to move, and they take. Black takes another queen, takes another knight. They're ahead in material, and b4 check. The king is forced, and queen c2. It is right now mate in one. If Black does not do anything, it will be mate in one immediately. The queen takes, trying to block that square. The rook moves to a6, trying to mate again, but bishop is played. And after taking the free bishop, the queen wants a trade, because if the rook goes back here, because if they take, then there will be this, because if they go here, they will take the queen and they can get freedom. So the queen takes the knight. Right now this position is, they're not losing. White is not losing if you check. Well, they're losing a little bit, but you can see how White changed the position. The queen takes, and they're running out of squares. c3 check, and the queen moves down. Queen to a1. You can see that rook under attack. Queen, and then after a series of moves, this move is great because this move throws them vulnerable to here. And after rook to d2, they check because you can't take this due to a pin. And after that, you end up with this. Like a few moves ago, there was a time where Black was up a lot of material. It all started here, and they began taking all of their pieces. But now, look at the outcome. In the end, White ended up having more of the pieces. And now the only hope for Black is to get a queen and promote. And after a series of moves, king c1 blocks that. There's almost no moves left. And after queen to a7, White won. And this is how the game ended. I hope you found this game very informative, and don't forget to subscribe.